Hello everyone, welcome to Chirag CockroachDB tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn how to install and configure the CockroachDB on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So, what is a CockroachDB? So, CockroachDB is a distributed SQL database designed for the high availability, horizontal scalability, and strong consistency. It was developed by the Cockroach Lab and inspired by the Google Spanner, aiming to provide the scalability to of NoSQL system with the relational capabilities and ACID guarantees of traditional SQL databases. So, what are the key features of the Cockroach DB? So, distributed architecture, data is automatically distributed across the node in the cluster, allowing for the resilience and scalability. Second, horizontal scalability. You can add the node to the cluster with the minimal effort, okay, and the database will automatically rebalance data. And survivability, fault tolerance, built to the survive disk, machine, rack, and even the data center failure with no minimal intervention. So strong consistency, so use the wrapped conscious algorithm to maintain consistency across the replicas. SQL support standard SQL for the queries, replica schemas, and transactions. ACIDs transaction fully ACIDs compliant, unlike many other distributed database. And finally, the cloud native regions and zones designed with cloud developments in mind work well across. So use cases where we are using this cockroach DB. So global application needed low latency data across in multiple regions, financial service requiring strict consistency and reliability, and startup and SaaS platform scaling rapidly without managing sharding, and resilience backend system. So final question is that why the name is cockroach? Why this database name is cockroach? So because it's designed to survive anything, just like the insect. The name reflects its emphasis on resilience and survivability in the face of failure. So minimal chance of failure of the this cockroach DB. So we'll just go through the step-by-step process to install the cockroach DB on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS and start a single node cluster. So I will keep it the clean and practical. So let me open the VMware. So my Ubuntu 24.04 is running on the Ubuntu server. So let me start my server. Okay. So I know the IP address and username password. So let me access that. So my server IP address is user is dpt 192.168.136.129. So password is default admin at that 123 sudo su. Clear. So this is my screen. So side by side I'm going to do the work. So update and upgrade the system packages, whatever the your system packages. Now update and upgrade. Next, download the Cockroach DB. Go to the Cockroach DB download page and get the latest stable version, or download via the terminal. So replace the version. I am using here version 24.2.5 with the latest version if needed. So Cockroach DB. Meanwhile, let me open this. So this is not an open source product. So you can see the pricing. So nothing server. What is the latest version? So go through the pricing. So cloud basic start with a 0 per month. So this is a small and workload up to 30K RU per second and 60 versus CPU. So 50 million RUs. So it will allow for the free and try for $400 credits, and there is a standard version and advanced version. This is a 2 CPU virtual CPU, and this is a 4 CPU. Per hour basis also you can get it. So latest version, let me check product CockroachDB. So this is a combination of relational database, NoSQL database, cloud database. In middle of that, we are getting the CockroachDB. This is the logo for the CockroachDB. So they are showing where they are using latest release. So this is in 25.3. I'm using 24 point something. So let's try with the 24 point something, and we'll go back on the 25.3. So here, let me download this. So this is the, we're using the kernel. I'm going to download. So after that, step 3 will extract the tarball. So we have downloaded this one, tar, and this is our file name, cockroach tr, cockroach tgz. So completed. Now I'm going to extract this one and go inside of the folder. So cd change directory, extracted, and we are inside the folder. So you can see the pwd present working directory is this one. So we're working with that. So next step is that install CockroachDB binary. So copy the cockroach folder. So LL, you can check the folder. There is a cockroach folder is there. So copy this one to the user local and bin inside the bin folder. So the done. Verify the installation. So check this one. We are in 24.2.5. This is the release of the 12/11/2024. Okay. So now create the data directory. So you can create the data directory if you are if you want to keep the data, store the data on that. So create it. Now start with a single node. We can start with a single node. Here we are using the root slash this data. So my data file will be inside of this. And if you want to access through the IP address and run the background, you can run this one. So insecure is skips TLS setup and listen area address. This is the IP address where we can listen this one, and HTTP address we have UI access. Here we are using only localhost. So we can run this one. So this is the best way we can run this, and we can check this one. So let me run. So done. Now let me open with this IP address. This is the IP address we can access the cockroach database. Let me open. This is the cockroach console. Okay. So we are running on the 24.04 LTS coming number uh, in this. That is the different thing. So here is step by step process. You can see this one, the capacity, node, replication status, matrices. Okay. Then databases. We have these are the databases. We'll create one database, and the database will be listed here. SQL activities and insights, port ranges. You can see this, and what are the cluster and system initialization is success, into which time it will give you that, and then its scheduling was done, then you will get that, and advanced debugging. Okay, so this is the main part. So now go there. Now access the cockroach SQL cell. So I'll access this one in command line. Okay. Root dial refuse the connection. Okay, no problem. So we have accessed this one, allow cockroach. If port is not accessible and firewall is on, then you can run these two commands and you can add the firewall with these rules. Okay. So this is also done. Now next, for the next step, we are going for the testing. Okay. In testing, step one, connect to the SQL cell because we are running with the host 129.265 with the IP address. So I am running this one. So access, see, we are able to access and Control C for the clear, M for the hide and show, and C for the stop. So now you will see this one. We are getting this one. Now create a database. So we are creating the database, test database. Previously, you can see that in the databases, we have a three databases are there. So now I am adding create database, database name. Okay. So now refresh this. So test database is created. Next, show databases. So we have created the test database. This is the last database. So we are getting this. Now create a table. So first use the database just like a C MySQL. We are using the database. So database name is changed. Default DB changed to test DB. We are working with the test DB now. Now create a table. So simple command as we are creating the in MySQL. You can run this one. Init para primary key, name string, email string. So this is done. Now show tables. So this is table user table name is user public then table type and owner is a root. So all the details we have seen this. Now going to insert some data. So data is inserted. This simple command insert into table name then column name values and ID here. Okay. So this is done. Now check the data. Select asterisk from your table name. So two rows are there. So same we are getting. Now I'm going to update one data that is the Chirags dot in. I'm changing this one. So first user for the ID one is Chirag. I'm changing this one. So now check with the user. Previously this one is in Chirag at the rate gmail.com. Now it's checks to Mahto at the chirags dot in. Okay. So this one change. Now I'm going to delete verify this one. You can verify one by one also where with the where condition. Now I'm going to delete row 2 means this one Sanju data. Now check with all details. So only one data is there. So cut operation is working with that. Okay. So step by step we have done. So in this video we have learned. Before that, let me show you in GUI. So there is a table. Okay, you have to refresh this one. So table is public user. Go inside that. So create table command is there, and all the details, all the table details you will get grant. Who have a grant, you can get this one. Okay. So matrices, SQL activity, you can check the show tables, whatever we have run, show tables, select asterisk from show table, these things, and set database, use database we have created there. So all the command SQL activity will be shown in this page. These are the user usage. No, not a problem. Matrices. So you can check the uses. Okay, this is a SQL statement, how much time this took, and CPU usage, and all node list, whatever the node are there, you can list in the node. So multi-node I will show you in the next video. So this one is done. This one is for the SQL statement, how many percentage this took. This one for the SQL statement, and this one replica per node, and all the things are there. So finally, in this video, we have learned how to install and configure the CockroachDB on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, and key features of the CockroachDB we have seen there, and why this database name is Cockroach, because it's designed for the survive anything, just like a insect, and name reflect is the emphasis, resilience and survivability in the face of failure. So step by step process we have seen there. And for any doubts and query, please write on the YouTube video comment section. Follow the process shown in the video. Please subscribe and like for the more videos. Don't forget to follow, like, share and comment. Hope this will help. Thank you for watching.